Hi, this is Ashley Gaska. I've been getting a lot of questions about the diversity in media assignment, so I figured today I would make a video explaining how to do this and to create an example for you to see. So let's look at the directions first. For this assignment, you are going to analyze one of your favorite movies, television series or programs, books, or video games that feature human characters. So, the first thing I want to do is decide, okay, what book, movie, television series, etc. am I going to be analyzing? So, for the sake of this video, I'm going to analyze the book Divergent by Veronica Roth. So for the title, I'm going to put Divergent, and remember to always capitalize the title of any book, movie, video game, and so on. Now I'm going to highlight my answers, so I'll show you how to do that. What kind of media are you analyzing? Well, even though there's also a movie about Divergent, I'm specifically talking about the book. So I highlighted it by clicking on it and holding down my mouse, and then I choose the highlight tool because that's easier than going all the way to the bar. So is the protagonist male or female? Well, my protagonist is a girl named Tris, so she is female. Is the protagonist your age? Well, if I remember correctly, Tris is 16 years old. I am not 16 years old, so in my case, no, Tris is not my age. Is the protagonist a member of the cultural majority where you live? Well, I know that she's got light skin, she speaks English, she lives in Chicago, she is Christian. So yes, I would say that that's the cultural majority where I live. If there is a villain, is the villain a member of the same cultural group as the protagonist? Well, the villain is Janine, and she is also a white woman, so I would say, yes, she's part of the same cultural group, even though they're from different factions. So, if there is a Joker character, someone who is the silly one, does that character belong to the same cultural group as the protagonist? Well, I don't really remember a Joker character. So I'm gonna say there is no Joker. Now it says, in a 1 to 3 sentence response, answer the following. In your opinion, does this book, program, series, movie, video game rely on any stereotypes based on culture, language, economics, ability, size, orientation, or gender? If so, explain, and if not, simply restate the question with your answer. Well, I may want to think about different stereotypes that are present, and I could say that I think overall it has some stereotypes, but in other places it doesn't. So I could say the book Divergent by Veronica Roth mostly refrains from stereotypes, but it does rely on a few, such as the homeless people in the city being somewhat scary and aggressive. So, portraying people who are homeless as scary and aggressive is a stereotype because we know that not all homeless people are going to be scary and aggressive. There are homeless people that are perfectly nice, and You can't just generalize people based on stereotypes. So let's continue. So now you're going to write an analysis of your chosen subject. This will be a 3-paragraph essay. Each paragraph will have 5 to 8 sentences. Follow the guidelines below for each paragraph. Okay, so don't let that word essay intimidate you, because this set of directions breaks down how to write the essay in very specific detail. So, in paragraph 1, which will be 5 to 8 sentences, you will introduce the subject of your analysis, include the title, and if it's a book, include the author, and a summary of the plot, beginning, middle, and end. Your main idea or thesis, the last sentence of the paragraph, will be whether you think your subject is reflective of a diverse community. So notice that they put introduce in blue. So here they put the sentence where they introduce their subject in blue. Harry Potter is a popular book series by British author J.K. Rowling. Then they put in green summary. In the first book, Harry Potter, the protagonist of the series, is an 11-year-old boy who discovers that he is the orphaned son of wizards. Throughout the series, Harry has the opportunity to learn about himself and the circumstances of his parents' death, make great friends, and triumph over several death-defying challenges. In terms of representation, the books don't seem to reflect the diversity of the British population, but the movies based on the series are more inclusive in their choices for the supporting cast. Okay, so let's go down and write our paragraph about Divergent. So I will start by introducing the book. Divergent is the first book in a series by author Veronica Roth. So there I have sentence number 1. The protagonist, Tris, is a 16-year-old girl who has spent her entire life among a group of people referred to as abnegation. This group is characterized by their selflessness. In Tris's society, there are several other groups also characterized by a personality trait. There is Dauntless, whoops, that needs to be capitalized, known for their bravery. Amity, known for their friendliness. Candor, whoops. Candor, known for their honesty. And Erudite, known for their intelligence. When Tris is 16, she and her brother have to take a test to determine which faction they belong to, or in. While most people get a clear result, Tris's result is inconclusive, meaning she is divergent. A rare group of people who are targeted by the government as they are considered dangerous. Tris joins the faction of Dauntless and has to hide that she is divergent while trying to survive the difficult and dangerous training for dauntless initiates. When a serum causes the Dauntless to attack Triss's old faction of abnegation, Triss's divergence becomes an asset as she is able to resist the serum and help protect her faction to the best of her ability. So that's a pretty long summary. But I think that gives everything that happened in the book the most important things. So now I want to say whether I think the book is reflective of the diversity of the area that they live in, which is Chicago. Which I think in terms of race, yes, it is reflective of the area. In other terms, I'm not so sure. So in terms of representation, there is a good mixture of people of different races. However, there don't seem to be any disabled people. There are also other opportunities for inclusion that are missed. So my argument is, while they have a good racial mix in other areas of representation, it's not as well mixed. So the next thing is look for where it says paragraph 2. In paragraph 2, you will explain the personal qualities you like best about the protagonist. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being exactly the same, you will determine how much you relate to this character. Be sure to include specific examples of how you are similar and how you are different. Okay, so some of the traits that describe the character of Triss are that she is brave, selfless, and curious. I relate to some of these traits, such as being selfless and curious, but I am not brave. For example, when Triss first enters Dauntless, she is the first person to jump down a dark hole where she can't see the bottom. I would never personally be brave enough to make that same choice because I'm scared of heights and getting hurt. On the other hand, Triss sometimes shows a selfless side. For example, she is willing to use her bravery to help others, like when she secured the flag for her team by climbing the Ferris wheel. Oh, I think that's capitalized. To find it. While I may not use bravery for selflessness, I do try to do things to help other people. Then for curiosity, like Tris, I am a very curious person and like to know more about the world around me. So I would say that's a pretty good explanation. Oh, I forgot to do my rating. Thus, on a scale of 1 to 5, I would say that I match Tris at a 3. I'd say that's fair. So now, in paragraph 3, 5 to 8 sentences, when you consider the characters involved overall, do you think this book, series, movie, video game fairly represents a diverse community? Why or why not? For example, are there groups that might feel excluded? Ooh, this is a typo. Include at least one suggestion for making it more diverse or reflective of those who might read or see this media. End the paragraph with a closing sentence that involves a call to action, something that your reader can continue to think about regarding diversity in media. So, in Divergent, we can consider diversity. We can analyze diversity in a variety of ways. First, there is racial or cultural diversity. The cast or the characters in Divergent come from a variety of racial backgrounds. While Tris is Caucasian, her best friend, Christina, I think it's spelled like that, is black. Tori, the woman that gives Tris her first tattoo and administers the faction test, is Asian American. In terms of language diversity, there is unfortunately no evidence of diverse language at all. All characters seem to speak English fluently, and no character deviates into a different language. For sexual orientation, most characters represented are heterosexual, with the exception of one pair. In terms of disabilities, I believe there's a character that's in a wheelchair, but I don't remember. I think that mostly it's everybody is physically capable. Everyone represented in the story is able-bodied. Overall, I would say that while Divergent seeks to be inclusive, it has room to grow in terms of its inclusivity. Media, like books, movies, video games, or series, should consider the diverse range of viewers and try to represent those viewers as realistically as possible in their creations. There we go. So there I have it. I have my paragraphs. I have my call to action, which is where I said the media should do something. And I have my 3 paragraphs. And I would say that I do meet that 5 to 8 sentence qualification. So this is how you would complete this activity. I hope that this video has been helpful for you, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.